Hello, this is Matt from Ace Appliance in Toledo, Ohio. Welcome back to another in-home diagnostic video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com. Alright, what we have here is a GE dryer. Customer's complaint is that it's squeaking. So go ahead and run it. So every time that drum's coming around, it's squeaking somewhere. So what we're going to do is tear it down and see what we're looking at.
Go ahead.
Okay, the only tools needed to complete this repair would be Phillips screwdriver or drill with a Phillips bit and a pair of snips and one zip tie. Alright, what we have are 3 Phillips screws along the top here. Pull this back here. And we've got 2 Phillips on the top of the panel. Move those. Lift the top straight up. Pull towards you. Alright, and now we've got this ribbon cable here connected to the main board that we're going to remove. There's a little zip tie that's kind of got it held down that we're going to have to cut. Alright, so again, we've got this connector here that goes to the main board. Just going to pull that off. We're going to snip this zip tie. And we've got 2 connectors over here that we're going to go ahead and remove. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and remove these 2 Phillips screws here. Alright, now we're going to be able to remove the control panel. 2 Phillips screws all the way at the bottom that have to be removed. Okay, and we've got 2 Phillips screws here. And we've got 2 screws on the blower housing. Okay, now the front panel's free. And there's our problem. If you look, the upper housing is just totally demolished. Alright, so what we've got, the upper housing is just totally worn down. You can see there, just a big hole. That should be all one solid piece. So what we're going to have to replace is the upper housing and the 4 drum glides. Alright, to replace the upper housing, first thing you're going to do is remove the light bulb. Set that off to the side. And just kind of grab it here and push up with your thumbs. It pops out of place. Take your wiring harness, get that out of there. It's just going to lift right up and off. And you got your little light cover here that's got a Phillips screw on it. Mounting screw, and then your harness is still kind of tied in here. Just free that up, and that piece there is going to be garbage. Alright, so we got our new housing here. First thing we're going to do is just go ahead and mount the light socket back in place. Okay, now our wiring harness. I sort of feed these wires up. So you got your first part right here. Lock them in there. And then the second piece here. Fish them through. Just like that. And then on the back side, you've got a little gap here. This is where your light switch wires are gonna sort of slip down into. And this piece actually sits over the door switch. Kind of get all your wiring where it needs to be. See stuff like this where the wiring gets out of place. I want to make sure that doesn't get pinched. Get your two sides in place like that. Make sure you're going to clear your light switch. And you just sort of lift up on top panel to get your two tabs under and just push with your thumbs. You'll kind of feel it snap into place. And again, just double check, make sure you don't have any pinched wiring. Alright. So we're locked into place there. Just kind of look up around the lip, make sure it's not sticking out anywhere. Looks like it's fully seated. And we're going to go ahead and put our drum glides on. You can get OEM GE drum glides. These are kind of a universal glide. So what we're going to do, we're going to take one of the old ones. And we're going to match it up with the new one. So again, these are kind of a universal drum glide. You can order GE's factory replacement and you wouldn't have to do this. These are actually Maytag glides. And just match it up with one of the old ones. Cut it down to size. And then you're just gonna, there's a little tab there. Just put it right on the tab. This part just sits underneath there. Just like that. We're gonna cut the remaining glides. Just put them in place. Alright, last thing we gotta do is just put the light bulb back in place. Alright, now we're ready for reassembly. So we're gonna go ahead and at the bottom of the door, or at the bottom of the front panel, there's two little ears, and you're just gonna set them right down on your screws. And then we're gonna go ahead and you take the drum, just lift it up with your fingers, just a little bit, and seat your front panel here. There you go. So we're going to get two screws in at the top, so this is all held together. Like that. going to put our 2 screws back into the blower housing. Every screw on this is a Phillips. Okay, now we're going to get down and tighten the 2 screws that we left loose at the bottom. Alright, we're going to go ahead and put our control panel back on. Alright, we got just little lips that are along the bottom of this that just mesh right up with this here. So you just kind of set it straight down. You'll feel it sort of drop into place. Your screws at the top should line up. We'll go ahead and put those 2 screws in. Alright, so we got a ribbon cable that we're going to reconnect. So we just reconnect the 2 connectors for the door here. Make sure they're locked into place. Alright. Alright, so we're going to just put in a new zip tie around this connector here, just to kind of keep it in place. Chances of it going anywhere are pretty slim, but you just don't want it to sag down and rub on the drum. So that's the overall purpose of the zip tie. Cut that off. Alright, we're going to go ahead and put our top panel on. Kind of angle it back a little bit. There's a couple of tabs on the back that you have to wedge it under. Set it straight down. You've got your 2 long screws. Go straight through. Just going to put this cover piece back on. Start with the middle one, it'll be a little bit easier. It won't want to pull the other side out. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and test the unit out. Okay, we're going to go ahead and power it up. Get it running. We've got no squeaks. So that's going to complete our repair. Thank you for watching another quality video from ApplianceVideo.com.